Good evening. Figured we'd do a live stream tonight. Had a little bit of time. Thought maybe we could hang out, talk about some of the new farm toys that will be coming out, and had these sitting out. Just left them out, but we'll see what happens tonight. See if anybody wants to get on here and chat a little bit. So Ertl released a new catalog. It is the Holiday Pre-Book, I believe was what it's called. Pretty exciting stuff coming out. John Deere stuff, at least in my opinion. Some cool 1/64 prestige stuff. Don't know. Saw our video on that. We did a rundown on that. What's up, Darren? How are you doing? I appreciate you watching our videos and commenting, Darren. Hey, Joey, how are you? What's up, Silas? Silas is joining us from Iowa. I'm doing this here in Tennessee. Where's everybody else coming from? Texas. That's pretty cool. Indiana. What's up, Lance? Yeah, I went to college up in Indiana, and my wife is from Indiana. Where in Indiana are you from, Joey? Because I went to school in Evansville, Indiana. Had a friend who farmed kind of in the river bottoms down there by the Ohio. And then my wife is actually from Indianapolis area. Mitchell, Indiana. I'm not sure where that is. I have to look that up. Mitchell, Indiana. Yeah, I was just in Indiana last weekend. Went up to visit some friends. Yeah, so Mitchell, okay. Let's see where Mitchell's at. Kind of in between Evansville and Indiana. Yeah, so just kind of wanted to get on here and chat a little bit. Didn't know, has anyone seen the Ertl catalog that came out, the Holiday Pre-Book for John Deere? We released a couple little videos over it. Some pretty cool stuff, in my opinion, in that catalog. There's going to be, what I'm probably most excited about is a Prestige Series S780. And so I think that's going to be pretty cool, because from the pictures it looks to use some of the parts off of the Prestige S690, which we've got over here. Probably my favorite 1/64 combine. One of my favorite 1/64 toys of all time. And I'm hoping it's got the steerable rear axle like this does. And it'd be really cool if it had the opening rear door. And there's actually a ladder that pulls out from here, but this one, the bottom rung broke, so you can't really grip it and get it. But it used to have a ladder that would pull out, fold down, metal rims on the tires, cylinders there, folding mirrors, the door opens, just a lot of detail on these. And so I'd love for that S780 Prestige to be like basically just a re-decal of this casting with a few minor adjustments. That would not hurt my feelings whatsoever. Normally I don't like when they kind of cheap out, but in my opinion, if they could keep most of this casting, update the exhaust, update the auger flap, and then maybe the decals, and they're putting tracks on it, so that would be cool. But if they could keep all the rest of that casting, that would be a really sweet toy. Don't know if they will, but that would be really cool. King Randy, what's up? Oh, Darren, I'm glad I was able to post that tandem tractor vid from Big Tractor Power. It disappeared as usual, YouTube problems, but glad you got it. Yeah, so YouTube's being weird. A lot of times when you comment another video or something, they like to take that down, and I don't know why, because we looked on our end to see if we could approve the comment, but it just wasn't even showing up. But Silas did find it when you sent it. He was able to find it and pull it up. That's a pretty cool tractor, because I think it was like a Super M hooked to like a 300 maybe. I don't know, it was two different tractors, but it was pretty cool. Yeah. Can we do a review on the New Holland CR960? Yeah, I mean, I can. Have to remember, but I'll try to do that. Old Iron Farm Toys, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, so the 960 is a pretty cool toy. We've done a little bit of custom work to ours. We've added a GPS. We've swapped tires on it because it came with very like skinny tires like this, but singles, and very, very skinny tires on the back. So we dualed it up. Really should paint those rims. They're 3D printed rims, but they kind of need painted white. So I guess I never fully finished this custom, but that's kind of the 960. The 970 is much better detail. So the 970 is the Farm Show edition that we have is 2005, and it's got like flashing lights and everything. I always thought it'd be cool to take the detail parts off of a 970 and put it on the 960, but I've never really found one that I was able to spend the money on to just rip parts off of. I never wanted to do that. But I will put that on my list of things to make a video on. I'll give that, do a 960, CR960 video, try to remember that. It would be a good video. Saw that the pre-holiday catalog looks good. Interested in the Muddy Chaser track tractor. Yeah, I believe that was 1/32 scale. That looked pretty cool. That Muddy Chaser. What we're also very excited for is the Cotton Picker. One, because they hadn't come out with a Cotton Picker toy in several years now. I've got the 7760 Cotton Picker, actually both variations that came out with that one. The Green Bell original one, and then the Yellow Bell updated version. And I've got the CP690, which is basically the same as the Yellow Bell 7760, except they changed the decal and added a flasher light to the cab. And then I've also got the Cotton Stripper CS690 that came out. That toy's actually gotten fairly expensive recently. And then we've got some older traditional style pickers as well. And I got the Case Module Express, which is, you know, fairly old at this point, square baler. But I am excited to have a highly detailed, at least it's supposed to be, it's prestige, highly detailed cotton picker. That'll be pretty cool. And just to get the new 770 cotton picker, that will be a cool toy. I'll probably buy it as soon as it comes out. Put the 970 in the video too. Yeah, I probably will. I'll probably just do a video on both of them at the same time. Kind of knock out two birds with one stone, because they are Almost the same toy. One is just higher detail and very similar combines. Kind of do a compare contrast of the two, show them off. I'll definitely do that. I took a Ertl 7020 and redid it. It looks good. That's pretty cool. I do like those 7020s. Pretty cool looking tractors. I love that time period tractors. I like those new generation style tractors. I want to buy a 960 and a 970, use the detail parts on a 960. Yeah, that would be nice if you can find a good deal on a 970, because I know they did the farm show ones, and then they also made some dealer editions and some other stuff with those detail parts that you can get. And generally, they're not too bad priced, and it would be cool to detail up the 960. Now, what probably would be easier, if you wanted an easy way to do that, buy a 970, take the decals off, and order 960 decals for it, and then just stick the 960 decals on there. Then you don't have to buy two combines, you can just buy one, because I believe the casting is pretty much the same. And you can get, I think, Jay Borth Customs on Facebook. You can message him, and it may be like $3 or something to get decals for it. And then you're spending a whole lot less money than having to buy two combines just to move the parts over, when really the only difference on those toys is the decal itself. So that would be the route I would go, is to buy a 970 and then buy decals and re-decal it. Now, unless you just want both, that's another thing too. You could also, if you want both, that's one thing, but it'd be easier. You wouldn't worry about breaking parts when you're trying to take them off and everything if you just went the re-decal option. So, we were doing field work today with our International 1066. That's pretty cool. What kind of field work were you doing? We've had crazy rain. Nobody's really out in the fields right now because it's rained this afternoon. I'm sure some people, I don't know, might have tried this morning. I don't know. We cut grass all day, but we got rained out about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock today. But it's rained. The last 2 to 3 weeks up here, it has rained, I don't know, 5 days out of the week, every week. It's been crazy for anybody to get anything done. It's been difficult for people to get stuff done. Will there be a Case IH pre-holiday catalog out? I'm not sure if there will be. In the years past, I feel like, let me pull up the Ertl website. I feel like there's normally a summer release catalog for Case in New Holland, which there was a little while back. I don't know if you saw those. But I don't think they normally do a Case pre-holiday book. I think that's just a John Deere thing. Let me look back at 2023 on the Ertl website here. Pull that up and look. But I don't think they did. So last year what they did is they had a catalog for summer releases. They had the John Deere Holiday Pre-Book. Then they had fall releases for Case IH, and New Holland and John Deere. And then they had another one with winter releases, but they did not have a Holiday Pre-Book for Case or Deere. So it would appear we're probably not going to see that. So the next thing from Case and New Holland, we may get a fall release book or fall release flyer, and then maybe a winter release flyer. But the Case, I don't know if you've seen the Case summer release flyer that they came out, or catalog. It's like 6 pages, so it's pretty decent size, and I'm pretty excited about some of the stuff. There's some Black Knight demonstrators. Those are pretty cool. We're probably going to snatch up. that set, the 970 and 1070. It's going to be a Prestige. It's supposed to be out in June, so you know, it may come out in July or August before we see it. But they got some more pulling tractors. They're supposed to have some like 1066 pulling tractors, and I think that'll be pretty cool. I mean, they're the cheap ones, but that'd still be cool. They also have the cattle hauling trailer on a Ertl semi, which is pretty cool because they used to make those. We finally got our hands on like 4 of them from some auctions, some old ones, and then now they're coming out with them again. So it's kind of usually the way it works. When we have something we've wanted for a long time and we finally get some, seems like then they just re-release it and it's cheap again. But anyways, oh well. I'm glad that they're coming out with them. But yeah, so there's some stuff that's pretty cool coming out. You should put some rusted tractor in the trees. I should do that. That would be pretty cool. I've got some that I could easily do that with. I do need to do that. An old rusted tractor sitting there in the trees. That'd be a cool little detail. There's a lot of stuff I want to do to the display. I meant to this past winter. I ended up having something come up this winter where I didn't get to do much for a few months there, and yeah, so my plans didn't happen. But this past winter, I was gonna like really try to detail out the display. Maybe next winter, we'll see. But I would really like to add some detail to our display, and that would be a good addition as well. Looking for Gleaner plus Alice Chandler's 1/64 Customs. Have any suggestions? So I do not know who would custom those. I a lot of times join these Facebook groups. You see a lot of customs for sale on some of these Facebook groups, but I mean, if it was me personally, I'd just buy something similar to what you want and just give it a shot yourself, see what you could come up with customizing. Maybe buy a couple of them in case you mess one up. But what exactly are you looking for as far as you looking for like older Gleaners or what? Just got the new 715 quad track. I have a video on my channel. Cool. Yeah, the 715 is a beast. If only it articulated. Pretty cool tractor. Not much articulation, but it does look very beefy sitting there. Pretty cool tractor. I'm kind of excited. I want to get the scraper pans, the Reynolds scraper pans that are going to come out from the case dealers eventually, that in 1/64 scale, and add to our scraper pans, because I do want those Reynolds, and I think they'd look good behind a quad track for sure. We've had crazy rain and mosquitoes are terrible. We had mosquitoes trucks out, but again, with all the rain, terrible. Yeah, the rain has been absolutely wild. The other day we had like 4 inches in just a matter of a few hours. It's been absolutely insane. I've gotten stuck 4 times this season since spring, but 3 of them have come in the last 2 weeks. I've gotten stuck mowing. Most of them have been in a ditch where I started out up above and then slid in. But it's been very wet. I think I only got stuck 4 times all of last mowing season. I'm already stuck 4 times this year, and we haven't even made it to the summer yet. So it's tough. It's been a very wet year. Old Iron Farms, you were disking. That's pretty cool. Out disking with the 1066. Hey Scott, how are you doing? Do you have SpecCast J&M 6026 Nitro Grow Nutrient Applicator. I don't remember if you did a review on it. They're really detailed, but on mine, the wings don't fold down flat. I do not have that one yet. I have thought about it, but I really, to be honest with you, the price is kind of what's kept me from purchasing it. I just don't know if it. I need to bite the bullet and just get it, but I mean, most places I've seen it's like $80, and at least for me, right now, when I say $80, normally by the time you pay shipping and stuff, it would be like $80 to get it. I just don't know if I want to spend that on it, although it does look very cool. And I probably will buy it. It may be something where I wait till like Christmas and maybe try to get a Black Friday deal or something on it. But they do look sweet. The only side dresser we have is the John Deere Ertl one from a couple years ago. But I do want that J&M one. I just don't want to pay for it. It's kind of where we're at. So, but if I do get one, I'll do a review on it. But that is a bummer that the wings don't fold down flat. As much as you spent on that, it's one thing I like SpecCast. They do great detail, but I have noticed a lot of things that fold either don't fold upright or don't fold down right. I just feel like I've had a lot of problems with some of their moving parts on their stuff. What about the John Deere E12 rotary cutter? Is that something new that's coming out? I don't remember. E12 rotary cutter. Let me pull up the pre-book. So I don't know exactly what if you're referencing something new. I feel like I saw one in that. Come on. It's loading slow because I'm streaming. It's wanting to take a minute. I'll come back to that. I know you do more farm displays, however, with pull tractors and your pull sleds, it'd be possible to switch it up and do a display on that. Yeah, I definitely, that's crossed my mind, Darren. I do want to do something with the pull tractors, especially because now pull tractors are so easily accessible. We do actually have one of the I think it's SpecCast sleds, the high detail sleds, so that'd be cool. I think the Ertl sled, the detail on it's very poor. What I do like about the Ertl sled is the actual weights move, so that's really cool. The SpecCast one looks sharp sitting there, but it doesn't have any functionality. But I think the Ertl pulling tractors all look really good. But I do think that I will set up a pulling display at some point fairly soon. That's been on my mind because I do like, I think they're cool. I think pulling tractors are cool. I only go to like one tractor pull a year at our local one, but they are cool. And I do think it would make a good display, like you said, as well. Alrighty, let's see. Do you have a John Deere Model A? I don't think we have a Model A. Let me look. I'm wrong. We do. So we've actually got the Model A with the farmer on it from the Ertl 75th year anniversary set. So we do have a Model A. And that actually reminds me, I think we have a 1/32 scale Model A that I've never shown anybody before. That at some point we may break out. It's something special, but I'll just leave it at that. We may have another Model A. let's see, back to what I was looking at a second ago. Um, SS Sniper Boofy and Goofy, what is your question about the John Deere E12 rotary cutter? I'm having trouble figuring out what is your question about that. Leave another comment so I can answer you there. Glad you had the yellow air tractor short. I would like to see a drone crop duster spraying a field on a short in the future. Yeah, so that would be pretty cool. The air tractor is pretty cool. I've seen one 2 weeks ago, several places all over our county. One time I was sitting there mowing, and I was like, my engine was behind me on this mower, sit down zero turn, and I was like, man, my engine sounds weird. It's getting loud, and all of a sudden, about that time, a crop duster went, low, right over my head. I was mowing next to a crop field, and he buzzed me, and it scared the far out of me for a second there. But it was pretty cool because I got to watch him for a while I was working. Pretty cool seeing the air tractor, and then I saw him later, other side of the county. They were doing a lot back before all the rain got here. Haven't seen them since the weather's been bad, but they're cool. The drones would be cool. So our local co-op runs a drone crew, and the other day I saw them drive by, which are all in an enclosed trailer and stuff, so I couldn't really see. But they've got like a big old generator. They've got them in this trailer, all the drones, and I guess they can land them on the roof. I don't know what they do exactly, but it would be cool one day to find out where they're working and go get some videos of them, because I know they've got them here. I just have to coordinate that one day if we're caught up on our work. If I could go out there and find where they're at. Scott, yeah, they're about $70 before shipping. Yes, for the money, it should work. Yeah, that's the thing with the SpecCast stuff anymore, is it seems like anything they come out with is very high. Not that it doesn't look good, but you do expect, when you pay that kind of money, you would hope it works. Especially when some places like Diecast Masters, for example, can come out with high detailed 1/64, Traco or something, and it'd be like $30 and function. You'd think when you're paying 2 to 3 times that, it would function as well. But it almost seems like the more expensive they are, the less functioning they get. It's kind of ironic. Midwest Farm Toys, hey, how are you doing? You've been meaning to post a review video on your 3010 this week, but you broke the fender off in the middle of the video. Sort of killed my ambition for the week. What a bummer. Oh, that stinks. Yeah, that would be cool to see a 3010 Precision. I've done that once. I was reviewing, I'm making a video. I never actually ended up releasing it, or I don't even think I made a follow-up video, but I was videoing a Traco we had, and I was trying to move the arm, but I was looking through the camera and I snapped the boom. And then it just kind of ruined the whole video, like you said, and then it just made me not want to make a video, and I didn't make one for over a year on the replacement toy I bought, because it kind of just bummed me out. So I know how you feel there. It kind of ruins the mood of the video for sure. How would I make my own 1/64 John Deere 5020 repower? Well, there's a couple ways you could do it. First one, if you take a 5020, if you wanted to do it the easy way, without actually repowering it, you could remove your air cleaner and your exhaust, and then put your twin stacks. So you can buy, there's a couple different 1/64 toys that's got some decent exhaust. One of them there's a International, I can't remember what model number it is, and it's got pretty good looking twin stacks, and you could just rip those off and glue them on the side of that. Now, it wouldn't be the most accurate 1:64 scale replica of that, but from sitting on a table or something from a couple foot, it's gonna look really good. Now, if you really wanted to get technical, you could probably, and I would never be patient enough to do this, but you could probably cut the tractor, drill out this whole engine bay area, and somebody's probably 3D designed one. Probably buy a little 3D design engine, exhaust, plop it in there, paint it. That'd be a lot of work though. I'd probably just opt for slapping some exhaust on there and calling it good, but depends. Depends on how much time you want to spend doing it, but that would be my go at it. Can't think of what International tractor that is. Give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can find what it is. Let's see. Okay, so I think it's this one. It wouldn't be necessarily the most accurate, but I think it'd still look good as a toy. If you Google 1:64 IH 1568 V8 tractor, you get a 1568 V8, and it's got twin stacks on it. And if you robbed those off and then glued them on the side of the 5020, it would look like a 5020 repower, in my opinion. But I would also remove your old exhaust and air filter as well. But look that up, and I think that would make a decent looking 5020 repower, in my opinion. With minimal work, very minimal work. Where am I? See the yellow air tractors all the time here. That drone crop duster was a rare thing to see here. Yeah, I would imagine as time goes on, you will see more drone crop dusters. I feel like they'll become less and less rare, although I do still think they have their limitations. Sauce and I were talking about it earlier today, and again last week. When they swarm them, I think one operator can run like 2 or 3, I can't remember. But you can get a decent amount done, but I think they're going to have a certain niche, and I don't think that, like, you know, big, broad, wide open areas when you're spraying a bunch of weeds and burn a field off, I don't know if that's going to be their application, but we kind of were talking earlier, if you could take the see and spray concept of John Deere and use that with a drone, where you're just going around spot spraying weeds in a field, and had some sort of artificial intelligence that would basically use the cameras of the drone to find weeds in the field and then just automatically spray it. I could see that being an application in the future for those drones. Yeah, 1568 IH, that's what I'm talking about. Charles, that's what I am talking about. Correct. I think they 3D print repower engine covers that glue on over the outside of the existing engine. Yeah, I'm sure they do. But they're not entirely realistic. Yeah, that's the thing with customizing. There's always a balance of how realistic do you want it to be versus how much time do you want to put in it versus at what point is good enough good enough? Because even like the, obviously with the Ertl stuff and even the spec cast, there's stuff where they cheat on the realism because you do have to have the durability. Like some things are thicker than what, if you scaled it out, it would actually be too thick. Especially when you look at like stairs, handrails, like these handrails would be extremely thick in real life. They're way too thick. But if you made them thin enough, that would be proper. It's going to be too fragile. So there's always that when you're doing customs. Like at some point, good enough is good enough. And you can spend a lot of time trying to get it perfect and it still not look right. It's just hard when you scale stuff down. But I tend to lean towards how can I do it with the least amount of work and it still look acceptable as far as when I'm doing my own stuff. If I'm doing something for somebody else, I'll put a lot more time into it. What's up, Everett? What people make stacks for tractors? I really have no idea. I've seen that Nexact on here and Big Tractor Power. What are your thoughts on that thing? So we saw it at the farm show in Illinois. It's different. It's interesting for sure. I don't know if I really think it's practical. I don't know. It seems kind of cool, but I just don't know if it'd really take off here, to be honest with you. Got some cool concepts like being able to transport down the road really narrowly. It seems really tall though. That was an interesting thing. Kind of wondered about the height of it. It seemed taller than a normal combine. Maybe it's not. Maybe it just felt that way when I was standing there looking at it. But yeah, it's kind of got some cool concepts, but there's a lot of moving parts there and I feel like a lot that could go wrong. But that's just an uninformed opinion standing there looking at it. And maybe I'm just kind of stuck in the old ways of thinking and maybe it's the future. But it's cool, but I personally don't like it. I guess that's my thoughts. Is there a way to get a 1/64 floaters too? Yeah, there's a bunch of people that make 1/64 floaters. So you can look on eBay. Daryl something on eBay has some tires and there's some floaters on there. You can rob them off of another Ertl toy. These combines, like some of these New Holland and Case combines, have some good floaters to rob. Like these are great floaters for different stuff. Other places, Chucky's Precision Pullers has some great tires, so I bought quite a few off of there. Don't see. Here's some tires I got off of Chucky's, so those are pretty cool tires. Nice floaters. These tires, not quite floaters, but those came from Mini Toy Truck and Tractor. So that's where those are from. And then another great place to get floaters. These floaters are off of an Ertl, like they were like these little mini monster truck toys that were plastic, and so you get like 2 sets off of each one, and they're like, I don't know. At the time I bought them like $5 a piece, and you got 4 tires for $5. And they're really rubbery and squishy, and we've used those on quite a few different projects to make some pretty mean looking floater tires in the past. So, that's my way of getting floaters. You have a 1568, but don't want to cut the stack, so I might just buy another 1568. Yeah, I get what you're saying, because it is. I wouldn't cut it just to cut it. But if you bought one specifically to make a repower and then cut it, then you're not really out anything. Because I think you can get that. It's like a $8 toy. So, you're looking at, if you buy one, cut it, and repower your 5020, you're only looking at like $8 in it, and then maybe you could use that 1568 tractor that's left over and do a custom of something different. That way you're not just totally wasting it. But just some thoughts. I think the 1568 with the cab looks cooler, but the open station one I think is cheaper to get. If you're cutting it, it doesn't matter what you get. I think the open station one is cheaper and easier to come by. I grew up around the corner from a guy with a couple of private crop dusters. I got to see them take off from the grass runway across the street every day. Haven't ever seen a drone yet in my area. That's pretty cool. That'd be really cool to see. See all those crop dusters taking off all the time. Also, Charles, you've been thinking about buying a toy 4020 with ROPS for the 5022. Me too. But the 4020 with the ROPS have gotten expensive. And so, I will tell you what I did. I'll be back. So, I bought this 4020 here. It is a plastic one from Walmart. At one point they had them on clearance for like $3. I bought 2 of them. And it had this plastic ROPS here. Granted, this ROPS is maybe slightly big. I then cut the ROPS off of this 4020 that's like slightly too big for 1:64 and very toyish. And then I have put it on here, and I think it looks fairly decent if you look, in my opinion. I've got one more. So like that I think would look good on your 5020. In my opinion. So that's what I've done. So just thought there. Because those are way cheaper than a 4020 with a ROPS, which the 4020 with the ROPS and the duals is the only one I really know about, and they're kind of expensive. Another thing you could do, and I've done this too, is I've taken some square little wood rods and built my own ROPS for a couple tractors. I don't think I have any sitting around. I don't think they're in my possession anymore. But you can build, well, here's one that's kind of got some yellow ROPS I put on there, just made out of wood. But yeah. Oh, I don't know if you could even see what I just showed. Yellow ROPS. Because the tractor I'm all let off had yellow. But anyways. You can make your own stacks pretty easy with aluminum too from hobby shops or even siren. Yeah, you can make your own stacks. I've never made any for like a repower, but I've made some more like straight stacks before. Like here's one. some stacks I've put on with some of that tubing, but I've never, those are just straight ones. I've never had like the different size where it's bigger and then narrows down. But you could do that. Seen some automated tractors featured here in other channels, and I think Kubota might be coming out with one. I just don't see driverless tractors yet. Yeah, it's interesting. The one I saw that I videoed was doing a grain cart, and that seems cool and all, but I don't see it being able to unload the grain cart. So, but I guess if you had a driverless grain cart that could go to the combine, fill up, and then go back to the field entrance, I guess the truck driver, when he got there, could unload the grain cart into the truck himself and then send the tractor back. I could see it for grain cart, maybe for planting, but there's just so much other stuff where I just don't think it would work. They had a combine there that was driverless in one little demo area, but it was just doing circles. And I don't think a combine would really, I think there's too much going on. You're going to want somebody in the seat of the combine, but I don't know. I just don't see a driverless combine seeing a rock in a soybean field. I don't know. Just seems like a lot could go wrong. I agree with you. I don't think we're there yet. Midwest Farm Toys, Daryl Stengler. Yeah, he makes tires. That's the name I was thinking of. You make a video sometime for 50/20 in general, like parts, so I know what to get. I guess we could. I don't really know. Depending on what you're wanting to customize. I've not done a ton of 50/20 customization. I've done some similar tractors, but a lot of what I've done, I've just taken tires off of other stuff we've got laying around, and stuff like that. So, but I can probably try to make a video at some point. 50/20 with the ROPS. The ROPS is actually super easy to take off too. It just snaps in, not even glued on. Oh, you have 40/20 with the ROPS. Yeah. We've got one right here. But I just don't really particularly want to buy one of these just to get the ROPS off, because normally these 40/20s anymore with these ROPS are like 15-20 bucks. So I have a hard time justifying that to just rob the ROPS. I guess if you could still do something with the 40/20 afterwards, but yeah, those things have gotten kind of expensive. I just bought another one the other day in a big, and well, you saw it if you saw our channel about a month ago. Titus picked up a collection I bought up in Minnesota of like 20 toys, and there was a new in the package one of those in that collection. But I still don't know if I'd want to rob the ROPS off of it. I may, because we've got another one. I may do that. We'll see. ROPS with the canopy so it looks meaner. Yeah. The canopy is something I've still got to figure out how to make, because I want to put it. I made one several years ago on a 40/20, but I also made the ROPS out of wood, and you've probably seen that on our video before, that 40/20. It's on a couple videos. It was on a short earlier this week I released on the back of a semi-truck, but it looks decent from a distance, but up close I'm just not happy with my ROPS, because it's just a piece of cardboard that's painted yellow, thin piece of cardboard, very, very thin, like cereal box thickness. And I don't know, I'd like a better detailed canopy, one with the actual curved edges and stuff. And I don't exactly know how to make one, and one of these days I would like a really nice looking canopy. Connor, you made a ROPS for a 50-20 with styrene, and it don't look too bad, but I need to pick up a ROPS for 420. Yeah, yeah, you can make your own ROPS. It's not too hard. It's just 3 lines. You just kind of make especially if you shape the 2 posts wider at the bottom, make them narrow at the top, and then just straight post across the top. It's not too hard. I've made a couple. Let's see. There was a 40-20 with the ROPS on singles that came in a 4-pack with the 40-20, 43-20, 46-20, and one other. I think a 25-10 or something. Oh, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. I need to look into that set. Hey, Winters, I was meaning ROPS with Campy, so are those harder to find? Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know of any 1/64 scale John Deere that has a ROPS with a canopy. If anyone does, correct me in the comments. I'm thinking we have a 656 with a canopy and ROPS, but we really don't want to mess with this one. This is a pretty cool golden demonstrator. But I guess if you could find an extra one of these, but these are really nice, and I'd hate to tear up one of these toys just to get the ROPS, but that ROPS does look sharp. Here's the 40-20 I did, and ROPS is built out of wood. Like canopy is more of a, like I said, cereal box thickness of cardboard. From back here, it looks all right. If you look up close, it's definitely homemade and rough, but from a distance, it looks decent at least. And then, as far as ROPS go, that may be our only, or canopy, that International is probably our only toy that's got one. We don't have a ton of older, smaller toys. Yeah, that's it. We don't have another one with a canopy. Never seen a 1/64 John Deere with canopy. Maybe they exist, but I haven't seen one. Yeah, Midwest Farm Toys, I've never seen one. And I don't know why they don't do that. You would think if they've done it for the International, they'd do it on a 40-20, because there's so many 40-20s in real life with them. You just think they would. Howdy, Rhodes McCormick. How are you? I have a 1206 canopy, but I'm not going to ruin it. I agree. I probably wouldn't ruin it either if I was you. I wish Ertl would make a more modern 9RT and 8RT tractors. I am 100% in agreement with that. You've probably seen it, but I'll show it again. This was our attempt at a modern 9RT. It's got the cab, front weights, exhaust, decals. I still got to put the 9RT decal on it, but correct hood and everything. The only thing that's wrong on this is the tanks are wrong, because still got the old style tanks, but that was our custom attempt at least, so we've got something somewhat close, a modern 9RT, but I really wish Ertl would do one. And an 8RT would be cool too. A couple years ago, I went and saw Bill Walters, the Ertl guy, in charge of Ertl, and he said there will not be one because they're not popular enough. Deere does not want to make a toy of them. And that's what he said a couple years ago. So that may change, but I doubt they're going to come out. I had lunch with them for something, and something totally unrelated to our Farm Toy channel. It was a contest my cousin won through New Holland, and part of the prize was getting to eat lunch with them and getting a tour Ertl. And my cousin couldn't go, so he let me go, and that was cool. So I got to ask him some questions and stuff, and one of the things I asked him about was those 9RT, 8RTs, and he was like, yeah, no, John Deere doesn't really want to push those anymore. They're all about the 9RXs. Another thing I asked him about was Wagner's, because that was when Wagner were about to come out, and oh, frozen. Let me see. Sorry, froze. The Wagners, and I asked him if we'd see like a Wagner painted, like an actual Wagner, not a John Deere Wagner, and he said no, no. What he said was probably not because they don't know the copyright's all weird. Well, long story short, he was wrong on that because now Wagner's we're getting one from the National Farm Toy Museum, and so I'm hoping it'll be wrong about the 9RTs too. So, custom campy you did isn't bad. The top is just too small. It needs to overhang the edges more. Yeah, I want it. It needs to overhang, and then it also needs to kind of. I need to put like sides that come down just a hair, but I got to figure out how to do that without it looking too clunky. And it just hadn't made my top priority of doing. 1-1640 320 Precision has Elite, has a canopy. You think they make it in 1-64 too? Usually they do the same models in both scales. Yeah, you would hope so. Yep. Saw a lot of homemade canopies, farm tractors growing up. Yep, video froze. Yep. Yeah, I wish Ertl would team up with Greenlight. That'd be pretty cool if Ertl would team up with Greenlight. I don't know if we'd ever see that, but that would be pretty cool. Well, tell you what, we're gonna have to wrap this thing up here in just a minute. It's already past 9:30. I appreciate everyone who's hopped on. Things have been crazy for us and our business, so we hadn't been able to make as many videos as we want to, but that's why I wanted to hop on the live tonight because I had some time. Hopefully things will kind of smooth out here by the end of the month. We can get back to putting out a couple good videos a week, and hopefully I haven't bought any farm toys in a little while, so I'm hoping some of the new stuff coming out. I know I want to get a New Holland combine and a couple other things. Things have gotten expensive too, so I don't know. That's not as fun buying them when they're $40 for a 164 combine, but we definitely want to pick some more up, get some videos out, but hopefully soon we'll be putting out some good content, and we always appreciate your suggestions, so keep those coming. Probably do a question and answer video again soon, so look for either a YouTube post asking for questions or an Instagram post, and submit some questions on there because we like doing the question and answer videos. Those are fun and we enjoy them. Nice scrapers, by the way. We don't see those in the area. Never seen a single one in real life. They're usually used in construction. You don't see them used as much on farm unless they're like building, I don't know, building certain things. Like I know a guy around here uses them a lot when they're building their hog barns, obviously, but some people, you can use them for different stuff, but a lot of times construction application is the reason scrapers are used, for moving a lot of dirt, leveling dirt, putting dirt down, so it's more of a construction thing really. That's what scrapers are for. Alrighty folks, well, we're going to wind this thing up. We're about at 1 hour live, so I've got to get going, and I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I know I have. I enjoyed hanging out and talking with y'all. hope you have a good night, and we'll catch you next time.